I may have to make a hot swap to a different device because Wi-Fi has been really crazy and things have not been working. My power's been going out. So if I have to do a hot swap, it'll be to this thing. And until then, I mean, if I keep getting knocked offline, I'll be back. Okay. But hopefully everybody can hear me. I see I have one person in the chat. Samantha Morris the cat, thank you for coming by the Quantum Show. Welcome back. And can I get a sound check? Can somebody tell me if I sound okay? I had to. Can somebody say you sound good, you sound bad? Sound check on my end seemed okay, but I don't know. So, okay, going with sounds good. All right. It's been a pretty active week and wanted to update on. Okay, yeah. Um my my kitchen is not so great. So I'm going to hot swap. So give me just a minute or so and hold what you got. Hold what you got. Thanks. Okay, yeah. All right. I got people in the chat. I'm working on it. Hold on. Hang on. Oh, geez. That's pretty cool. Mm, yeah. Okay. This is pretty interesting. Okay. I'm going to go with this one. Um, that was some crazy stuff. All right. Hold on. Things are going to look crazy. Okay. Working on it. Okay. This is a much more reliable thing to do right now. So let me get a sound check again, please. Sounds good now. Okay. Alrighty then. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. Switching devices and everything. First hour, going to be going over a few things, and I wanted to go over once Coyote Girl, right? And she is she is on her path, whatever she needs to be on. I actually got I'm not gonna say called out, but I got told don't push. Sabrina came in and says, don't push. At least I think it was Sabrina. Another person has showed up. I don't know if this is I it this person feels different. There's no hi, my name is such and such, here's my business card. That doesn't happen, right? With the spirit guides. It's how does that person feel? And this person feels differently than both Xena and Sabrina. I have no name. I don't even have a gender. I have generic entity. And let's see. Oh, thank you. Excellent, YJ. Thank you for the checks. Appreciate it. Says, YJ says, check, check. Lights are set. Shirt is on point. Audio strong. Good deal. Okay. And that's what's going on with Coyote Girl. And she is still, a lot of us will agree with Coyote Girl. I can see my frame rate is low, but we'll just have to deal with it, right? That's okay. The Apple frame rate is higher. That's why it dropped out because it couldn't keep up. The connection couldn't keep up with the camera. So here we are back on Android. Hey, Raven, just going over a few things about Coyote Girl. And a lot of people are convinced that what is in front of us is what it is, right? What we see is what it is. To an extent, that's correct. However, what we see is an indicator of what is, and what we feel and what is the now is an indicator of what is. There is a whole quantum infrastructure behind it of what is. And it's that infrastructure that you take your leap of faith and you materialize, you manifest from there. I don't know if I'm putting this in good words. Okay, she is convinced she needs meds. She has to deal with uh, mental instability and depression and all those things. And see, that is her now. She's not seeing beyond the now, the here and now. There is a whole people who have access to these things, you, me, all of us, pretty much all of us that come to this show and our Keith's show, and some of the people who go to Rich's show and Dave's show, Dave Scott, some of them, and some of the ones in Amy's show too. But Amy's show has said they're all muggles, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not a muggle. So we have access to manifestation. We have access to the kind of energies. We feel it. We can imagine it. A lot of those people who don't have access, hey, Terry, thanks for coming in. A lot of those people who don't have access, here's a trick. Seems like if you're a visual thinker and we see in pictures and not just conceptualize like the blue dog jumps the red fence. We can see a blue dog in our mind's eye jumping over a fence that is red. Everything else is variable. Blue dog, red fence, jumping over. Now we can see that an image of that in our head. People, some people cannot do that, and that is a big kicker, big trick, a big advantage to be. Oh, I got to do this. No, I can't have that. That should not be on the internet. Luckily, I went down to the lower frame rate. Nobody can see it. Whoop de doo, right? But anyway, a lot of people don't have the ability to visualize what is in their head. They're literally words and concepts. Now, going back to Coyote Girl, she has the ability to visualize, but she's been put under such constraint in her lifetime that she thinks this is the here and now. And the big indicator that it isn't is when in high times of stress, coyotes have shown up for her. And they didn't attack, they acted like escorts, like buddies. And all the stories she told me, they acted like escorts. like her pack, her people. And I told her this, she doesn't believe me. And then that's when my spirit guide, that's when Sabrina started saying, back off, just don't push. She'll come to it when she's meant to. Because it is there. It is there for her to pick it up and use it. And uh she's set in I need the meds. Let me see, YJ. Yep. Let's go ahead and I can't. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I can see how this connection you've got isn't without a whirlwind. Oh, yeah, there's a whirlwind of questions, dude. Questions that are really hard to answer. Yeah. And none of them are three dimensional. All of them require that leap of faith. I call it a quantum link. Our physical bodies aren't honed to see like that, like they may have been 1,000 years ago. Well, I don't know what you mean by 1,000 years ago, but that's okay. Good points. Yeah, there are a ton of questions that go along with it because they don't always jive with the here and the now. Hold on. I had to turn my little filter fan on. Okay. Yeah, they don't always jive with the here and now. And it takes that leap of faith, that feeling, that ability to visualize to be able to do it. Now, let's go on over Coyote Girl, right? I saw her a few days ago, and she's where she needs to be on her path. I have, for me, I have confirmation from literally a higher being, my spirit guide, Sabrina. Sabrina says, don't push. I'm like, okay, don't push, not pushing. And I'm going to, I'll be there. She knows it's there. Um, so when she is ready, she will go on her next things. And yeah, and that brings me to another thing. Raven, you showed me that YouTube channel talking about the three types of souls. I believe that. I had a friend in the army, Hudson, right? He says there are three kinds of people in the world. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Those you know, those you don't, those you know that you like and like you, those you know that you don't like or don't like you, and those you don't know. That's what he said. And I agree with that. The people who, there's some people, and now this is interpersonal, but it overlaps. He was talking about people you are trying to connect with. And there are people you know that you do connect with, people you know that you don't connect with, and then the people you don't know. Focus on the people you don't know because about half of them are going to like you, about half of them are not going to like you, and the rest are to be determined. It's up to us to determine it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. 3D thinking, right? The last 2,000 years, mankind has been forced into being 3D thinking detached from the quantum realms. Correct. Correct. As a society. Good observation, YJ. That is as a society, not as individuals. Individuals, let's look at some of these things, right? That could be dipping into the quantum. UFOs, cryptids, and spiritual, okay? Talking ghosts, haunted houses, haunted places, seeing spirits. I know a ton of people who have had all of these experiences, and nobody can talk about it without getting harassed or getting some kind of something because it doesn't fit with the mainstream, which is our society. YJ, you nailed it. Our society. The social structure is built on materialism and everything is money because it seems like we've had to. Now, I'm not trying to change the world. right? I'm trying to change within arm's reach. This is arm's reach. Look, I'm reaching out to you, just like that. See how my special effects go? My special effects are awesome. Look, I'm zooming. There you go. Oh. Also, corniness. I specialize in corniness. Um, yeah, go ahead. Link that video, The Three Souls. Go ahead and drop a link. You're mod, so you can do that in YouTube. Okay, and that is what YJ was saying. That is the society. So, yeah, individuals and pockets of society. Now, those are pockets of society. Unfortunately, the 3D, meaning the materialism and self-servingness. Now, this is American Western society. This is not necessarily, I, I can't say about other societies. I can talk about what I saw here and what I've seen in Europe, right? These are self-serving and materialism based mindsets, right? And then you have us, the ones that recognize that we have a quantum link. And don't try to change the world, okay? Don't. Don't. You will burn yourself out. It will burn you because the world is an entity by itself. All the people, all everything. Don't push. Do what my spirit guide said. Don't push. Change what's in arm's reach. The world, really hard to change and probably eat you up. Your neighborhood, that's a little easier. So, what's on your street, on your block, down your road, that's a little easier. So, concentrate because that has a tendency, it's a wave. You're making waves, small waves, but think waves, they travel out. So, if you touch someone over here in a good way, they're going to take that and it's going to travel through them from there. Even if it's just what the muggles call pay it forward, like that movie. Yes, thank you, Raven. Um, yeah, yeah. That is a joke. Let me tell you the joke that I know. A chef. You're in El Paso. There is a restaurant in El Paso. He has a bucket of crabs. Half the crabs are from Canada. Half the crabs are from the Rio Grande. Yeah, they don't have crabs in the Rio Grande, but I'm telling the joke. It's my joke. And the crabs from Canada, or no, they got already screwed up the joke. You got two buckets of crabs. One's from Canada, it has a top. One's from El Paso, it has no top. And why do you keep the bucket covered from Canada? Because if you don't, the crabs will get out because they'll get out. And well, why? How do you keep the bucket from El Paso uncovered? Because every time a crab gets up there, they say, "No, asshole, you're with me. You're coming back with me. There's your bucket of crabs." I wish I told the joke better. It's all about timing, and I don't have it. But that's another joke. I'm not gonna. We're watching Star Trek, old Star Trek. Um, my timing is digital. My timing is digital. I'm no. See, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, that my corn is still. I still got it. Corniness, I still got it. Okay, but getting back to don't try to change the world. Change your neighborhood because that shit will travel out. And like the Muggles put it, pay it forward. There was a movie with the guy from the movie that stole the Constitution. That guy, Nicolas Cage. Yeah, pay it forward. I think it was him. But yeah, you pay it forward a little bit, and that little bit will travel. That little bit will travel to the next person, to the next person. So do that. And I want to also update. So that is the update with Coyote Girl. I'm leaving. I'm available. It is available. The world, the universe is available to her. She's just having to realize. I asked her. She said, "My depression, this and that." And I'm like, "Huh, yeah, I've been meaning to want to talk to you about that, Coyote Girl." That no, that's my little signal to her that this shit's getting deep. This shit's getting weird. Is when I call her Coyote Girl. Otherwise, I call her by her name. And um, she shifts gears, right? Oh, and something else I noticed about her. She meets your eyes and she unblinkingly, and it appears to be staring, found out she has a muscle problem in her eye. So her eye will wander. She has a weak muscle. And that's like a muscle attached to the brain. You can't really exercise it. You can only just use it and hope it works. It's not like she can lift weights with it. It's turning her eye. So I thought she was like, it's turns out it was some insecurity powering that staring ability or habit. But whatever. Um, you try to change only your neighborhood because it will travel out. Another update is the shoe store lady. I went to talk to her. She is okay with an interview. And I told her, give me about maybe not this show, next show, maybe. I might get her on. Or I might do a pre recorded interview if she has time, if she has somebody there to help her. Because I want to get some actual interview topics talking and talk about where she came from and her experiences and what now. Because that was cool. Oh yeah, that's something else about this whole mystical, ufological, quantum stuff. You know what? It's interesting. It's captivating. But you know what? It's freaking cool. It's cool. It's so cool. It is. People forget that part of it because it's not mainstream. I don't know. The mainstream is not cool. The mainstream is grindy and not happy. You know, this is happy. This is cool. This is fun. And it's freaking cool. So, whatever you take from tonight, take that. All this stuff is freaking cool. And yeah, okay, just a little side note there. Just a little side note. This stuff, as interesting and stimulating and definitive as it may not be, it's freaking cool. Everybody knows this. Everybody in this field of thought knows if it wasn't cool, we wouldn't be doing it. And I have heard my show described as intellectual. Okay, thank you. Um, I'm wearing a Mandalorian T-shirt on a YouTube channel. Okay, and if this is intellectual, awesome. I caught. Speaking of intellectual, uh, Goof on Rich had Michael Roser on earlier today. I heard part of it, right? And I heard the beginning of it. They're going to Belize. They're going to go do archaeology in Belize with Jared Murphy. That is, guess what? It's freaking cool. And they were saying, is it going to be dangerous? Oh, it's going to be incredibly dangerous. Aside from critters trying to eat you, plants trying to kill you, terrain never been traversed on a regular basis. You got cartels, and then you got highwaymen, old school highwaymen, and you got poachers. And yeah, it's incredibly dangerous. It's going to be incredibly dangerous. So, okay, y'all who were listening to that show that want to go to Belize and you think it's going to be like vacation time or a road trip. No, man. No way, y'all. It is going to be, imagine what Indiana Jones went through in all of his adventures. Probably even with Nazis. I'm so glad that this show is going to be going on Rumble and not strictly YouTube. So it'll be on Rumble afterwards. It'll go to YouTube and then it'll go to Rumble. Because you can't say that word and stay on YouTube. Because we're talking about South America, Belize, and they're going there. And Rich was wanting to go. He goes, "Oh, well, I could just drive over there." Wait, no, I could just fly or take a boat over there. Wait, no, it's international. But it is going to be incredibly dangerous. But you know what? No danger, no guts, no glory. Because they're going to actually research stuff, not have a good time. They're going to have a good time. Because anybody going on this trip wants to be there. They want to be there. He's looking for Terra Preta. Terra Preta is that super black dirt that is self-perpetuating, and they're going to be looking for ruins. They have lots of radar scans, lidar scans, satellite imagery. They're not going down there like, okay, well, we'll try this trail. No, it's going to be, this is the trail according to this map is where we need to go. They will be going there, and that's going to be freaking awesome. I'm hoping we get updated regularly. So apparently that area of the jungle, and it's deep jungle, has good Wi-Fi access, I believe, thanks to Starlink. Thumbs up to Starlink for providing comms where there are none. Because, okay, that's what they're doing. And, yeah, I told you about Shoe Store Lady. That's okay. That's updated. I didn't take any notes. I just got home. I just got back. I was in Ashland City. And hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. If you like what you have heard or what you think you were going to hear, like and subscribe. Obligatory like and subscribe. Hey, Scott Blight. And okay, in the chat, we have Scott Blight, Lynn and LA Moon, Sebastian. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for coming by the Quantum Show. I'm sorry I didn't welcome you when you walked in. Trying to do a show here. YJ Overlander, Storm and Shout. Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, time is an illusion and lunchtime doubly so. Yeah. Let's see. Raven is here. And I believe that's everyone I see in the chat room. Marvelous Marvin, thank you for coming in. Sorry, I didn't know you were coming in. And yeah, Terry Campbell, I think I said hi already. That's all right. Yeah, like and subscribe to the Quantum Show because every week, and if I ever have something worth doing right now, there will be shorts. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. Like I just did a little tank review of this toy tank that I've got. It's really cool. And go see that on the channel. It's not very quantum, but it's fun. And I saw Cheryl Costa put up a picture of her in her Starfleet uniform. I should do my show in armor one day. One day you're going to come up and you're going to see an assault trooper right here. And I'm going to take my head off, my helmet off. And you're going to see, oh my God, it's Nathan from the Quantum Show. He's a stormtrooper. Okay. Yeah, I am going to, in a little while, YJ's talking about Bigfoot. Hey, Joe. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. YJ's talking about Bigfoot. I am very close to East Tennessee, where it is Bigfoot country. It is like the mascot of everything around there. In Nashville, it's country music, even though it's not, it is the flavor of Nashville. In East Tennessee, everywhere I went in East Tennessee, it's Bigfoot. and aliens and UFOs. That is the whole flavor of East Tennessee. And mystical. Even though they want to say Christian, 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 you know what? Let me go over real quick about what I found at the water temple. I call it a water temple. New Market, Tennessee. They have this well, and it's in the middle of a courtyard. Okay, they've dressed it up. It's nice. You walk up to it. It's got a sidewalk going up to it. The place is lit with good lighting. Everything is blue. I'm talking royal blue, right? Sonic TARDIS royal blue. And it is a water temple. Here's how everyone around there knows it, but they don't use that word because that would be sacrilegious. However, you got the water pumping station, which is what they actually call it, and then you got church, 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 all churches all around it because the element of water is there. And when you go in there, if you're any kind of sensitive on any wavelength, you will feel it. You will. I felt it, but I am more sensitive than others, and I felt it. It was like it just came over me. It was like a colored light. I felt it come over me going into that place, getting that mineral water. Yeah, totally, totally. It is a holy place. And anybody who treats it otherwise is wrong and they need to go away. Go to the church, 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 church. Go to one of them. But yeah, that place is definitely a holy place. And I'm going to be going back there in May, I think. I think it's sometime in May. May is a busy month, y'all. I'm going to Florida, and then I'm this coming weekend, not this week, but next show will be kind of a strange one because I've got something going on the Sunday after. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to East Tennessee. I'm going twice to East Tennessee, but the first time is going to be easy. The Bigfoot conference is coming up. I'm going. ICC is coming up. I'm going to it too. And it's also in May. May is going to be off the hook, y'all. April, not much going on. May, spinning all the way up. YJ, I am not part of the 501st. I have been invited to the Sith Legion or I forget what they call it, the Sith something. It's a part of it, a sub part. But I am not part of the 501st. I will go and do a separate video about why I am not part of the 501st. That is not for here. It's not very pleasant. It's just a chain of events that led to me not being in the 501st. But anyway, May is going to be crazy. And okay, I wanted to go along with, and I wanted to continue on about crystal linking from last show. I didn't touch on it like I wanted to. And all right, I will just grab a couple of crystals. Now, your crystals don't have to be sanctified or blessed or anything before you get them, not even turned, because here's what I got from Amazon. These are from Amazon. Rough, broken pieces of quartz. I'm sorry, the video is not so great, but these are rough, unturned, unpolished pieces of quartz. They even still got dust on them, right? Now, how one would link these, you don't even have to have them in the same room, in the same state. Probably not the same planet, but I cannot confirm nor deny that. I know that. Now, these, I haven't messed with these. These are wild cards, right? These are crystals. You buy them in bulk. They don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be cool or awesome or turned. These are barely cut. You can see they're broken off. I don't know if you can see that or not. but they're not awesome. They're not the ones that are already worked. And this was like $25 for a bag, and I've taken quite a few out of here. These are, it says made in Brazil, technically true, mined in Brazil. So what I did, I'm going to be doing it here soon, is I took one piece of this crystal, right? And these crystals are computers unto themselves. We just have to program them, really. Okay. How to program a crystal. This is the shoot from the hip kind of way to program a crystal. Your intention, your manifestation is put into the crystal. All you have to do is think, this is what I'm going to do with this crystal. And I did that once. I just kept it with me. I kept it with me all the time. And I said, you're my amplifier. And electronically, I know what an amplifier does. It takes it and folds it up and spits it out stronger. Smaller, but stronger and to the point. So it collects all the energy, quantum speak, right? Not electricity. You're talking about raw crystals. Now, it takes all the energy around it. You, as the holder, as the practitioner, you gather that energy. It gathers your energy. You're bringing it down consciously. You put it in the crystal. It amplifies it and focuses it. And that's all it takes. No special meditation, no special breathing exercises. All that stuff helps if it helps you to focus on doing that. But see, those things are not instant in, instant out. It's a crystal lattice. It's a structure in there. It's circuit pathways. The stuff holds on to it. That's how they can be programmed. And you have things like the stone tape theory, right? Ghost hunting, the stone tape theory. You take your crystal, you put it in your pocket, you carry it around with you. You just kind of remember sometimes that it's in there and you're doing it. And then you give it away, right? Now you are linked loosely to this crystal because living in the 3D, being a 4D person, meaning having an ability of some sort. I have done this. Now I'm loosely connected to the crystal that I gave my sister. It is doing its thing. She is still running that crystal. When I say running the crystal, she still has it, and she knows I did some stuff to it, and it's doing it. Let me see here. Yes. Okay, YJ, I'll read that out. I have a few trios of crystals that I've bound together. Good. Then cleaned. Please define cleaned. Charged in full moonlight. Good. Then sent each of the extras to each of my kids. Yes, we're experimenting using them as a communication system. Awesome, because that's what I'm doing too. I'm going to leave that up there. Now, this might help, right? You are already linked to them, okay? You are already linked to them. You don't need a crystal, but the link is fleeting and it's based on feels. That crystal will help focus. And if you did those, you prepped the crystals well, sounds like. I would like to know how you cleaned them. Okay. Now, what I am doing is I told my friend I bought her some crystals and I had them sent to her from Amazon. This stuff doesn't have to be exotic, right? Let me see here. Raven's talking. Okay. Raven's saying, okay, yes, but I have trouble keeping up with all those things. I have trouble keeping up with every bit. It's like keeping up with lines of code. And I am a computer person. It's hard for me to keep up with lines of code. I don't know where my semicolons are. I don't know where my slashes are. So I try to keep it simple for myself. Yeah, each facet can be programmed, but need a book to figure out what is doing what. That's why I keep it simple. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I feel like there's spider webs on my face. But anywho, okay. And YJ, in response to the question, I use frankincense and myrrh to cleanse mine in the winter. In the summer, I wrap them in cotton and bury them for a day or so. Good idea. Earth, grounding. That's good. Cotton is of the earth. Cotton, and it's shielding and it's comforting. So that's good. That's a good way to do some cleaning. I've cleaned things by going into the yard, getting a pot of soil and putting things in there. That grounds them out. And it grounds them out enough to where you can reprogram them. That's witchcraft. Okay. Yeah, but all the facets of crystals, I can't keep up with that. I'll forget. And if you forget, it has here's another thing you got to watch out for. This is now all this stuff is tied together. Okay, manifestation, crystal programming, crystal communication, mental communication, all of it's tied together, right? All has an underlying oneness. You're interacting. It's very complicated. Go with it, right? Go with me on this. When you forget what you've done and you can't keep up with it, there could possibly be a runaway effect. Here's an example: thought golems, tulpas, right? Now, there is one exercise you can do. Now, what the exercise says do is take your spirit stuff. We grow it, right? It grows back. Everything about us grows back, even the physical, right? Okay, you take your spirit stuff, you visualize, you're full of gas and sparkly stuff. And then you have a pipe going to, this is what the exercise says, you have it go to a geometric shape, be it a cube, a pyramid, a sphere, a cylinder, whatever, right? It is an extension of you and all your senses. Now, when you do that, you can set it somewhere, just like you set something on top of a desk or in a corner or on a shelf. You set it there, and it will. Now, this does take some mental discipline, okay? And the context of being able to do this, you have to know that you can do it, and you have. It's good to have done stuff like this before. Ability stuff, not particular exercises, but that kind of stuff. And I'm reading. Okay. Now, this is the experiment. This is the test, the thing that you do in the book that I read. You can set that thing somewhere. You can have it be a spy. You can have it be a probe. You can have it do whatever. It will absorb whatever's around you. And you can get that information and bring it back. You have to absorb it back into you. Now, when you forget that it's there, now, if it's a geometric shape, then it will probably disperse and go back to energy, right? And some people around there are going to have some weird dreams and some feelings and somebody looking over their shoulder, whatever, some weirdness. It'll look like a light poltergeisty thing. However, if you do not use a geometric shape, okay, I did this exercise and I didn't go with a geometric shape. I went with something, I went with a wolf, a small wolf. And when I say small wolf, I mean small. I don't mean, oh, a small wolf is 4 foot tall at the shoulder. No, that is a small wolf in real life. But I'm talking, I did the shape of a ghost wolf, a small wolf. And, well, I forgot about it. I was in the Army. I had tons of stuff on my mind. I forgot about it. It is probably still out there running around because a wool, it's quantum. Just as your crystal is quantum, it is linked to the quantum. In a crystal's case, it's linked to you, but it is also existing in this world. Well, this shape of a wool that I had programmed with my quantum force, I guess you could call it, my star stuff, my spirit stuff, it now has a shape that is also linked to a real creature. That is a quantum link, and it is not intentional. It just, if you give it attributes, if you give anything attributes, it's going to take on those attributes because here's okay, boys, hang on, boys and girls. This is where it gets crazy. You imbue every creation you do with a tiny bit of your own quantum entanglement. Every bit of it, everything you do, every window you fix, every set of brakes, every dish you wash, every clay pot you fire, or Lego robot you build. Everything is imbued with your tiny bit of quantumness, right? There you go. Copyright, open source, tiny bit of quantumness. There you go. You heard it here. We imbue all of our creations. Every 3D print, everything you carve out of wood, everything you cast in resin, everything is imbued with a tiny little bit of you. And I did a whole wolf shape. And I said, I basically said, go, run, act like a wolf, be my guide, right? At the time, this was 20 something years ago. And, well, I forgot about it. Now, geometric shape will dissipate. A wolf will take on the properties of a wolf with the imbued properties that I gave it. And properties, excuse me. So somewhere in El Paso is a psychic spirit wolf running around that is, I don't know I don't know. It's out there. It's running around El Paso right now. I haven't tried to connect to it in years, but it's out there. And I know it's out there because I put it out there. And since I forgot about it, I know it took on aspects of a wolf because there are wolves in Texas. They're not that big, they're not that many, but they're there. And coyotes and all the critters you would expect. They're desert. There is one psychic ghost wolf running around out there. He has every bit of ability I got, plus he's a ghost wolf. He is like not a golem, but a thought form. I can't think of the word right now. If I can think of the word, I've done a whole show of it and I can't think of a word. Okay. Well, okay, YJ, you're talking about servitor. He was not a servitor. He wasn't a servant. He was a representative. I'm sure he has his own mind now because wolves are independent. I put that into him. I didn't need to put that into him. I gave him the shape of a wolf. He took that aspect on his own. So, not so much as servitor, unless I'm getting that word wrong. Servitor means someone who works for me, doesn't work for me. Okay. Uh, Almost a gula. Not quite. A gula has a lot more ritual put behind it, as far as I understand. I'm talking tulpa. That's what it is. A tulpa. So I have a wolf tulpa running around, or I don't have him anymore. He's his own entity. He, she, whatever. Probably he, because I imbued him. So just remember, when you don't remember what's going on with your items, they can run away like that. Same with crystals. crystals can run away. And while it's not going to be, now you're talking about a crystal, it's a local object. It's going to be connected to other things. If you don't keep up with the connections, you imbued it, it will reach out and grab and touch and talk. Okay? Seriously, this is it. This is the weirdness of it. I told you it was going to get weird. Today is a good weird day. Let me see, YJ. Okay. Servitor would be for your purposes. Yeah, definitely not the right word. Same sort of thing, but no strings attached. Right. I wanted this creature, this ghost wolf, this stuffed wolf, right, to be its own thing. And I shouldn't have done it. And I believe even Joe said, don't do that. But I did it anyway. And it's out there. Unless something ate it or snatched it up. Oh my God. I need water. I'm on a roll, y'all. I'm on a roll. Unless something got it, it's still out there running around. And it doesn't cause havoc. It's probably fixing stuff or probably being friendly to people. So, it being a wolf, it's going to be very independent and it's going to be very elusive. Not so elusive because it's a wolf, and plus it's me. It's me. It's literally my essence into a thought form that I gave, and I did do a little bit of ritual for it. I did some Buddhist meditation. And let me tell you, that's like a ninja sword of meditation. Okay. That's like the katana edge. You have the self control of Buddhism, that shit's going to be on point. And it will give a definite advantage because the brand of Buddhism, I don't even know what brand it even was. My friend was doing it and I was doing it along with him. He told me, but I don't remember because it's some crazy words I don't know. Let's see. I'd like to think that if he's out there still, he's got your moral compass. I hope so because he came from you. Yeah, I like to think he came from you. Maybe he's like the littlest hobo helping. Unlike his progenitor, the biggest hobo. Yeah, hopefully he's out there being friends to somebody, being nice to somebody, helping, maybe be a guide, be a gatherer, be a shepherd. Don't know. But I imbued him. He's out there. He's been out there for years. And as far as local sustenance, there's plenty of weird energy, strong energy in the desert of El Paso, even in the city. Um, Not like a child, more like a droid, but actually has a soul. And that soul is a piece of my soul. So he's running around out there. I did that years and years. I haven't thought about it in years. I don't know. I do know how it came up. So that's okay. Back to crystals, right? If I forget what's going on with the crystal, what facet I'm working with, it will reach out, ping something, and I don't know what's going on. And it will cause a little bit of inequilibrium, right? So that's why I do crystals one function at a time, specialized, very good at that function. And the one I gave my sister is I'm not meaning to use it as communication, but it goes along with it. It's an amp. She keeps it, I think she's keeping it in her windowsill in a plant, not buried, but in a plant. And it's an amplifier. That's what I did. I made it into an amplifier. And it works really good. I'm still wearing this one. This one. Still wearing it. The one I got from Shingoji. I'm going to see Shingoji when the Bigfoot conference rolls around. That's who I'm going with. And we're going to go. look at people weird and find more psychic people, because that's what happened when I went to it. We walked around the town, found a witch. Straight up, not even joking. Got to talking to her about it. They thought I was some kind of a city inspector or or something, because I was asking all the weird questions. But yeah, they thought I was secret shopper, I think. But anyway, um, so you can program to do that. I told my friend, I bought these crystals for her, had them sent to her. I said, go ahead and make yourself a pendant, because she has a chakra, throat chakra, that's very weak. And while it won't replace it, it will help that throat chakra. She had to have some material removed, and I am going to program that crystal with my own. And I will send it some energy. And I don't know how, I told Arquise, I don't know how I know how to do this. How I knew how to do programming crystals. Don't know how. It just was like, it was like a skill. And it reminded me of how I remember people who have amnesia and things that mess with their heads, not necessarily amnesia, but reduced function. They can retain skills, and skills carry through. This skill carried through. And I was telling her, don't worry about programming it. I can program it from here. I had no idea how I knew to say that. And I looked at myself, I'm like, what am I talking about? I was like, what am I talking about? But then I thought, what if I have a crystal? I can program it. I know this crystal is linked, and I've already got a mental link with her. So I can follow that loose mental link and almost create a hard line between her and I using those crystals. That's something really cool. They will resonate. That's another thing. Psychic resonance. Okay, this is all coming up on the fly. I did not rehearse this. I don't rehearse nothing. I'm like, it's the quantum show. Whatever shit happens, shit happens. Whatever happens, that's what's on the show tonight. I didn't know I was going to be talking about crystal resonance at a distance, because scientific resonance, you take a tuning fork or just something that vibrates and you hit another one, the similar one, right? And you put them together, they pick up the vibes. That is physical resonance, okay? It's called sympathetic resonance. Look it up, Google that shit, right? I will be leaving links, if I can remember to leave links, in the description below after the show, after the second show. And that's called sympathetic resonance, right? Now, with a crystal, we having quantum links with each other. And we do, I don't give a shit if you don't believe in it. It's there whether you like it or not. Sorry. Lots of caffeine. So we have a quantum link with everybody, loved ones and friends and family. We have a quantum link that's stronger, because family, obviously, right? They're family. We're physically bound up with them. Okay. Joe is saying in the chat, also known as harmonic. Yeah. Yeah. And all right. I already have a link with my sister. I can talk to that crystal if I want to. But she's got this. She don't need me to talk to her crystals. She can talk to her crystals. She knows how to do that stuff. My friend, she has the crystals. I told her, wear it near her chakra, is what I told her to do. Make a pendant. It doesn't even have to be pretty. It just has to have that crystal in it. Yeah. YJ, you're absolutely right. Sympathetic resonance. which is a physical anomaly, is the quantum explanation also on the quantum level for why a husband sometimes gets sympathy contractions with when his wife is in labor. Correct. That is a total empathic connection between a husband and a wife doing that, going that way. It is a total empathic connection. I did it with my ex. I do it with the people around me. That's why shielding is so important. Shielding is very important. You will take on aspects of those around you if you don't shield, just because you're empathic. If you're empathic, I would love for some other empaths to watch my show and talk about it. What's right, what's wrong, because I want their input. So, like, share, and subscribe. There you go. How do you like that segue right there? Yeah, yeah. YJ saying. Now talking about chakras. That's root and the lower chakras, going from root, and that brings up Kundalini. You open up Kundalini, you're going for a fucking wild ride right there. Okay, I touched my Kundalini. I was able to open it up one time. It blew my mind. Okay, I was I was super powered for about a day. It was amazing. I could read everyone's mind. I could feel everything, and I could tell what was going to happen. It was insane. And that's me, who is hosting the Quantum Show, saying it was fucking insane. And yeah, YJ's talking about, I've been reminding my kids every day about shielding because they work in public and they're both reporting that it's helping them both tremendously. Excellent. Yeah, because if static gets in, static can mess with your own inner workings, right? And okay, these crystals, that's why I'm keeping it simple with one function per crystal. And none of them are the same. And they're all very different from each other. Let me just get two out, right? I think this might be the same two. All right, yeah. These crystals are very different from each other, right? Very, very different from each other. Yeah, that's my other speaker. Don't worry about it. Very, very different from each other. So they both have aspects that are unique to themselves. And that actually helps because if you have pieces of crystal that all look the same, you will think they're all the same. So it's better to have differentiating marks and flaws than all one perfect, like 100 action figures. Do you know which one you got in Texas? Do you know which one you got in Georgia? Do you know which one? No, they're all the same, right? So if you have differentiation between them, that's even better. That's even better. But okay, and so those crystals will. I told her, go ahead, make you a pendant, and start wearing it. Let me know when you start wearing it. And that's when I popped out with, I can program it from here. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I looked at myself. I was like, what am I talking about? That's what I'm talking about. This is one of those skills that carried over from some other time, some other life. And yeah, Kundalini will rock your freaking world. If you, YJ, if you had those crystals in your hands, I wonder what keys you'd lay them each on, if it, I don't know. I don't know. I would, I don't know how I would do that. That's a good, you know what? I could go to Five Below, get one of their toy keyboards, and do that. See where the crystals, where they feel right. I could listen, and where does it feel? That's a good idea. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Because literally, those things are $5, right? And they don't have to be accurate. They have to make noise of a tone within a range. Okay, Joe is coming up. Energy is energy. Become familiar with it, and instead of shielding, you begin to convert energy. Correct. Correct. Now, converting, you have to know you're doing it, right? Maybe not a xylophone. Xylophone is expensive and you want it to be good. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a xylophone. If a xylophone works for you, go with it. Okay, converting energy. If you know to do that, then you can do that. Joe, you gotta stop throwing out them high level factoids because us down here in the first couple levels, we're not gonna understand it. Okay, there's some high level stuff you're talking about. And yes, you got to know to do it. You got to have a method. You have to know that it's happening and how to kind of funnel that in. But I'm not there yet. I'll tell you, I'm not there yet. I can shield and pick and choose because something I have learned there is no shortage of energy. And the earth and nature will always provide the energy needed. It is all around us. And if there is some negative energy, that's where the shielding comes in. I think of it very electronically, okay? If there is outside interference, like what I don't know, it gets blocked, okay? And I will bring in energy, like you say, energy is energy. However, I haven't done the conversion stuff yet. It is complicated to start, right? It's not complicated, but you have to get there. You have to learn to get there. So I told her, I will program the crystal from here. And as soon as she tells me she made the pendant with the crap stuff that she has there and is wearing it, I will begin to, I'll put one in my pocket and I will tell it throat chakra, right? Heal, upgrade, repair, heal, upgrade, repair. And that will be my framework for the meat of the programming, the transfer and everything, right? And I won't need to do this forever. I won't need to keep on to, it's not a maintenance thing. Once her crystal is done, it will continue working. I might check on it every now and again, get her on the phone, get her on Facebook, whatever, and say, hey, how's that crystal doing? Are you wearing it as a pendant? Yes, no. Okay, well, wear it, it'll help. And it's it's gonna work. I don't know how I know how to do this stuff. I just know I can do it because I've freaking done it before. And I got these crystals, this big old bag of crystals. This is a pretty big bag. Okay, now there's like 30 crystals in here, and they're all individual. Here's another different one. I don't know. These are quartz. Specifically went with quartz. Right? Here's an interesting one. It's all cloudy. That can really do some stuff right there. And okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about the crystals. I think I needed to experience more before I talked about it. Hold on, let's go in the chat. YJ is talking. I got a bag of chakra crystals a while ago. They're about 2 inches square and tumbled smooth. I laid them on my chakras for doing a guided meditation the other day with Geraldine. Oh yeah, I didn't. That's awesome. Geraldine is awesome. Okay. Oh, Geraldine Orozco is cool. Okay. She's not entirely my speed of things, but she's cool. She is. She does some really neat stuff on. I know she goes on Dave Scott's show a lot. I know she's been in touch with Amy, and I don't know where. I know she's got her own channel, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at her stuff in a while, but Geraldine, thanks. I'm going to have to put another link now. Yeah, color correspondences. All right. It's not locked to that. Those are specialized. I get it, right? Like quart to me, these quartz are do all crystals, right? These are do all crystals. You tell them what to do because otherwise they're going to do their own thing. And whatever is around them will program them. I program them. I keep these away from prying eyes, touchy hands, and away from electronics. Like, don't set them next to something. If it's like, I mean, just a foot away is fine. The only thing I do have it next to is a multimeter, but it's from like Harbor Freight, so couldn't hurt it. Harbor Freight multimeter, it can only be helped. Okay. The things are just, they're disposable. If you need 1 meter, you set it to the meter, you cover the rest of it up, and it's that meter. You need a speedometer, whatever little counter you got, you hook it up to the probes, you set it to your setting, and forget about it. They're $5, and yeah. But all right, yeah, I think that's you know what? That's it for the first hour. That's pretty much it. I covered everything I wanted to cover. I went to my sister's place. We always have good talks. We talk about because she's going through her own awakening experience. It started a lot longer ago than mine, but mine just was full throttle right away. Hers is taking a little longer. I am talking to two spirit guides and I could identify, and one that just showed up. Um, and I'm still figuring this person out. And my sister has a spirit guide show up, not defined. She says, acts like a companion. And I'm like, okay, well, and we talked about it a little while. Here we go. Yeah, Lynn, multimeter got one in my truck. I've got a little bit of a cold. It might be allergies. That's why I keep messing with my nose and my face. And YJ is saying, oh, Lynn Ann, I keep multimeters all over the place. If I need a multimeter, I want one right then and there. I try to keep them all over the place, in the car, in the living room, in the kitchen, in my room, in my pocket, maybe wherever I can keep one. Okay, quartz are for sure super versatile. Yes, they are. They're the strongest ones in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know about that. They amplify psychic abilities the most for me. You, I have told them to do that. I don't know if they do that or if you're subconsciously telling them that's what you want to do. I have consciously told them this is what I want you to do. And they amplify psychic abilities the most for me. I've slept with them under my pillow and had amazing astral plane experiences. Yeah, they can do that too. I would say this is just me, but this is your subconscious, hence higher self, using the crystal as the tool that you want it to be, that you think about. But your higher self, astral self, your subconscious knows it can be used for. Okay. Okay, everybody. That is the first hour. We went about 15 minutes over. I started about a minute early. And this has been a good one. I hope I sparked a lot of ideas. I'm going to get the link out. Shadow will be here. Raven has said she wants to be here, hopefully. And there was a lot of stuff about that I didn't say manifestation. All of it's wrapped up. All of it's wrapped up, right? All these circuits and these intentions and programming crystals, all of it's wrapped up. It's all manifestation. It's just manifestation or spiritual, energetic, psychic, physical. They're just levels. They're all levels. Okay. Thank you, YJ. Thank you, Lynn Ann. Thanks, everybody, for coming to the first hour of the Quantum Show. And come back in about half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to get the next show ready. Hopefully, I sparked for the next hour a lot of thoughts. Raven, I will be sending you a link on Facebook. And okay, Lynn, Frank, I will send you a link as well. Because I hope I got some wheels turning and some crystals sparkling. All right, be back in just a little while. Keeping it quantum. All right.